What the fuck is happening, mediocre people of YouTube? So we're just gonna try this, and I've been thinking about doing this video for a while, or some videos like this. I see if you guys like this, you know, as the title suggests. This is kind of some of my memoirs from the wrecking business. And I've got a million fucking stories. But I thought, and I've got a million of these stories in particular, but I thought that I'd just kind of tell some stories this time about the demolition business and the hustle. And the hustle in the wrecking business is copper, you know, and other precious metals. I worked for a guy, owner of the company. Excuse me, I just had lunch. I'm just fucking around today, so just had some lunch and chilling out. But the owner of the company that I worked for exclusively, when I first got into it, his deal was always, don't you ever fuck with my iron. And it's kind of like, you know, I know you guys are going to get your copper and this and that. Don't ever fuck with my iron. And we're not going to have a problem, you know. So that was cool. And everybody kind of got a little piece. But man, I was thinking about this one time today. My boss called me. He was we're working on different job sites at the time. But he called me. And he goes, hey, can you bring your truck over here? Now listen, all of us guys, we all had trucks. I would go out and buy the strongest fucking shocks I could possibly get on my truck so I could haul as much as I fucking could in the back of it, you know. So he knew I had, you know, he goes, hey, don't you have a buddy that's got another one? I said, yeah, you know. He goes, well, you know, we'll give him a little cut, and, you know, for using his truck and everything. I said, all right. So I get over there to this job site, and it was a General Motors plant, and they had these fucking ovens, big fucking long ovens, and inside these ovens, they had these copper plates. They were about the size of like your computer screen, you know, and they had 2 bolts in them, and they were thick. They probably weighed 25 pounds a piece. And this motherfucker, I had a level fucking load on my truck bed, and so did my buddy. And I mean, it was crazy driving to the scrapyard on the freeway and trying to, you know, keep with traffic, which you're not going to with that kind of load on. But I remember riding back with my buddy. You know, we took my truck in, and then we took his. And he was more of a friend of my boss than he was my friend, but he was like real quiet the whole. I could tell something was on his mind, you know. And you know, I cut him off his share, which we gave him. I think we gave him like half that load or whatever. I mean, we're talking $10,000 loads, you know. So, and he's got his money and he's counting it. I was driving and I'm kind of looking over at him. He's just, yeah, I could tell he's thinking, you know, something on his mind. I found out later that he couldn't wait to fucking drop me off so that he could go to the fucking crack house and pay off his crack dealer and get some more crack. Tell you, man, back in the, you know, I started a wrecking business in the early 90s, and at that time, man, there was fucking crack was everywhere. And, you know, hey, we're in a construction business, demolition business, you know, it's no secret that, you know, a lot of these guys, you know, they live that, you know, kind of lifestyle. But at the time, man, you were hearing about people's old ladies on crack, and fucking one of the bosses, he came home one day and his fucking TV's gone, his big screen TV's gone, and his old lady's gone. So he drives down to the fucking closest, and he lived in this fucking rat hole in Detroit. Drives to the closest pawn shop, walks in, there's his fucking shit. So he bought his TV back and his VCR. And fucking the dude helped him carry the TV out to the truck. They set it on the truck. He walked back inside, to get his fucking VCR. Comes out, the fucking TV's gone. The motherfucker stole it off the back of his truck that fast. That's Detroit, you know. That's Detroit till this day. But it was bad. It was real bad back then. Yeah, that crack epidemic was something else, man. I mean, it was... God, I can't tell you how many people told me, oh, dude, my old lady's strung out. Because, see, we were never around, you know. We're working... we work a minimum of 10 hours a day, 6 days a week. And usually, it was, especially at that time, man, these bosses would fucking run us into the ground, man. I mean, we'd go 14, 16 hours, motherfucker, you know. And the money was great. That was the whole thing, is we made fucking excellent money. But like I said, you know, the old ladies were left home. If you picked out the wrong old lady, and she started fucking around with who knows, and next thing you know, she's on crack. God damn, there's so many old ladies on crack. Dude, my old lady's on crack. Thankfully, I never had to go through any of that shit. My old lady was never on crack. She's so fucking ethical, it's disturbing. But anyway, so another fucking thing I was thinking of, another copper story I was thinking about. I was working on this big fucking job, 5 million square foot. And one of the guys that worked for us, they hired his son as like a laborer. Now I knew we'll call him Mark, and then we'll call his dad Gary. So I knew Gary really well. He was cool as hell, and he asked me, he goes, watch out for my son, you know, so make sure he's not fucking up. And I said, all right. So I didn't know what this kid knew. And he was kind of goofy and everything, but I didn't really talk to him much. But I came into work one morning early to get my fucking hustle, get my load. So I got there at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I knew they had security and everything on site. So, but there was a walkway that went over, and fucking I had a little route and I was working on the other side of the job, so I could walk up, go over the walkway, go over to the main job, and get my little copper hustle, you know. So I heard something. I'm standing up in the fucking walkway. I look out the window, and there's fucking Mark, you know. He's on a fucking golf cart. What the fuck is he doing, you know? And I'm like, man, security, maybe they fucking called the police. Because they were calling the police on people from the neighborhoods coming in there, stealing shit, you know. And I'm thinking to myself, great, they fucking probably called the police, and that's why he came over. Because Mark, he rented an apartment, like, just a couple streets over from the job. I don't know, maybe he didn't have a license or something. But like I said, his dad got him the job. Maybe he didn't have a driver's license, so... Anyway, a couple months later, it was in the middle of the day, and I was on a Bobcat, and I was getting my fucking hustle. I mean, I had a fucking kick-ass copper hustle. And I fucking whipped around on the Bobcat, and there's Mark standing there, and he's smiling and laughing. So I turned the Bobcat off. I go, what's up, man? He goes, getting you a pile? I said, yeah. I said, you know, and he's like, yeah. He goes, I get a little bit here and there. And I said, yeah. And I said, man, I said, we got so much. I said, I wish I could get a fucking truckload of this, you know. And he goes, well, bring your truck in. And I'm like, he goes, bring it in, like, you know, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And I said, so we got so rudely interrupted there, my phone rang. And that's what I'm using here to videotape this. So anyway, so he goes, yeah, bring your truck in, you know. About 3 o'clock in the morning or so. And I said, listen, man, a couple months ago, I was up in the walkway, and I saw you here. I said, that's what you were doing? He goes, you're kidding me. He goes, man, he goes, I was all freaked out that night because, he goes, I thought I fucking heard something. He goes, I was getting my shit, and I thought I heard something. He goes, that must have been you. I said, yeah, man, I was trying to fucking... So it was funny as fuck. So anyway, he goes, bring your truck in at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I said, dude, he goes, I got an apartment right across the street, and I'll meet you here, and we can fucking load your truck. And I said, dude, what about the security guard? And he goes, dude, I'm fucking her. So I'm like, no way. This is fucking perfect. So, long story short, I said, all right. I said, I'm going to be here about 3 o'clock. I'll call you. And he goes, all right. So I'm fucking running up there, and 3 o'clock in the morning, 3:30 in the morning. So I call him up. What's up, man? He goes, hey, he goes, go to the garage door off of this side of the, I'm not going to name the streets or nothing, but, and I said, okay. So I'm coming down and I see him, and he's opening the gate for me to drive in. And the next thing I see is the security guard, and she's fucking rolling a fucking door up so I could drive inside the fucking building, man. That's fucking sick as hell. So I fucking had the Bobcat, I had everything set up, and I had the Bobcat right there, fucking loaded my truck down. We got a nice load that time. That was a fucking good job. I mean, everybody on that job made out. The boss he was cool as hell, and he was getting ready to retire, and I wish I could name names, but I just can't do it. But that was also the job, and I think I mentioned this to Elmo, where I ran into the Cupro nickel. And it was inside of a chiller, and there were pipes, probably 3/4 inch pipes. And usually when you cut open a chiller, you find copper pipes. Well, this time, I cut the chiller open, I threw my torch on it, and that motherfucker melted, and it was silver when it melted. I said, what the fuck is this shit? So I got a load of it, and I took it to the scrapyard right down the street from the job, which was just a rinky-dink scrapyard. But at the time, sometimes I would get a load at lunchtime, and then I'd have a load to go home with, you know. So they would give me a pretty good price at that scrapyard, but the loads I took home, I would take to my guy who gave me top dollar for the copper. So anyway, I take a load of this shit into the scrapyard. I didn't know what it was. It looks like, you know, it looks like copper pipe, but it looks like brass. Like I said, when I put my torch on it, the motherfucker melted down silver. So the guy at this rinky-dink scrapyard, he tells me, he goes, it's just brass, man. He goes, it's just brass. It's just like doorknob brass. And I said, bullshit, dude. I said, that's not brass. Oh, yeah, that's all it is, man. It's like doorknob brass. I said, He goes, you don't want to unload it? I said, no. He goes, fine, take it out of here. You know, he kind of got shitty about it. Like, oh, fucking. But I knew it wasn't fucking brass. There was no way. So I took it to my guy a couple days later, and he goes, how much of this do you have? And I said, dude, I've got fucking piles of this shit. And he goes, that's when he told me, he goes, what this is Cupro nickel. He goes, I can give you $5.85 a pound on it. And I'm like, what? Fuck, I mean, so a little pile, fucking, man. So I had piles and piles of that shit that I was taking in, and some of the other guys on the job, I remember it was at Christmas time, we were shutting down. You know, we would take a week off between Christmas and New Year's. And there was a couple guys on the job that I knew real well, and I liked them. I said, here, man, everybody was getting them a pile before they left for the holiday. And I remember telling this guy, I said, here, man, I said, take this with you. He goes, what is it? I said, just take it. I said, don't let them tell you it's brass. And he goes, what is it? I said, just take it. I said, he was going the same guy I used by my house. And we came back to work. He was all fucking happy, man. He goes, I couldn't believe. He goes, dude, I got like fucking $1,500 for that fucking one pile. I said, I know it. So anyway, you guys tell me if you like these kind of fucking stories, and because I got a ton of them. And let me know what you guys think in the comments. Peace.